At KSMO Radio, time for us to sit down with Jen Tracy again. We're glad to have Jen back. And, of course, last time we talked, it was pretty nice weather. This time it's a little hotter, a little more humid. Welcome to summer in the Ozarks. Anyway,
That's right.
It's good to see you, and thank you for being along. This is a paid political interview with Jen, and we have a couple more of them scheduled. I know Mr. Roth will be back in next Monday morning, so hope people will get a chance to listen in and hear some things about you personally and about maybe your schedule and things going on.
Absolutely. So we'll go ahead and just segue right into
Let's
upcoming
do it.
events, right? Might as well. So
bet.
actually this evening from 5:30 to 6:30 at the Salem Public Library, there's a meet and greet with Denny Roth. He's the one who put this on. Denny Roth is actually running for the U.S. Congressional District 8 down here. And he was nice enough to ask me to participate. So it will be Denny and I, again, at the library this evening from 5:30 to 6:30, and we will have some snacks and things like that there. So we just encourage anybody who's in the area to come on by and see what we have to say and ask us questions, put us on the spot.
And if nobody's familiar with the public library, it's at 4th and Jackson Street.
There you
There's
go.
parking in the library parking lot, but also behind the library parking lot where the police department is. So
Yes.
don't go breaking in any of those cars.
That's right. And we won't be in the library upstairs. We'll be in their meeting room, which is downstairs.
basement.
Yep, in the basement. So
Right.
go around to the side and you can access over there.
So you enter from the west side of the library building, and you'll go down the stairs into the basement.
You bet.
All right, very good. I just want to clear that up. Sometimes people
Thank you.
they know where the library is, they think, but the old library was a couple of blocks over. So
There you go.
they
Yes,
still go
yes.
there. Okay,
So thank
very
you.
good. You're welcome.
And then Saturday, actually, Lake Spring potluck. I was invited to attend that from 6 to 8 p.m. And so I'll probably bring a fruit salad or something tasty and meet a few people there. And it's not an actual speaking event for me or anything like that, but definitely come up and chat with me and ask me questions. Anytime I'm out and about,
Sure.
I encourage anybody to come up and approach me and ask me questions.
So you've been involved in a lot of these meet and greets, chats here and there, whether it be Democrat or even Republican.
Correct.
We've seen you involved in both. And is that a way that you're also getting out your message as to what you see are the needs of the people here?
Absolutely, and I always ask people to stop me and confront me, especially if you're on the other side of the aisle than where I align, because I think that we will have a lot more in common than people think, and I'm here to represent this district for everybody, not just one party or another. This truly is to do it for everybody. I just kind of the motto, I guess, if for my campaign would be "We all do better when we all do better," and so. I try to attend as many events as I can, and it's been they've been very kind to me down here in Denton County. A lot of the Republicans have had events and have invited me to those, and so I definitely appreciate that.
Well, you haven't shied away from any events. You were actually at the 4-H FFA livestock auction here. You've been to one in Crawford County. So obviously it's not just political round tables and things that you've been associated with, but civic events as well.
That's right. So I went to the dessert auction for the FFA Expo, and I did bid and won. I think I outbid West Mowbray actually for a coconut cream pie, and it was quite tasty. And so kudos to whoever made that. I had to get back up to the Crawford County Fair because we had a booth there as well, doing double duty that week. But headed back up there, took the pie with me, and actually gave some servings to fellow booths around us, fellow vendors. So I think they really appreciate that on a nice warm day and get a break from some fair food and have a tasty coconut cream pie. So again, whoever that is, you have my sincerest thanks. It was absolutely delicious, and everybody else said so as well.
And I'm sure your booth participants in Crawford County thanked you.
They did, yes. They were very, very appreciative to have this nice pie come back to them. But then also I was back on Saturday for a little bit for the market sale that they had. We also had ours in Crawford County on the same day, but thankfully they were at different times. So whenever I got here on Saturday, there was a young lady with her goat, and she was standing there with it getting ready to show. And I asked her, I said, "So are you ready?" And she kind of hung her head down and shook her head. And I felt terribly for her, but I know what she's going through. Our boys, when they were young, they were in 4-H in Crawford County and showed hogs. And sale day was always very difficult. You get quite attached to those little creatures. And honestly, I'm terrible whenever I attend these types of fair events. You'll find me in the livestock barns petting all the animals.
And talking to a whole bunch of different people as well.
That's right.
So in your travels around Denton County here in the last couple of weeks, so we talked a couple of weeks back, what has the perception been for you of the people in Dane County? Are they listening to what you have to say, or meeting with a little bit of resistance, or are you still trying to open some eyes as to what's your platform? I hate to use the term platform.
I know,
really
it's an awful word, but that's okay.
I know, but you know what I'm trying to get what you stand for across, that
That's right.
you're willing to do what it needs to be done to get the job done right.
That's right. Actually, I have been well received, I feel. The majority of the people that I talk to are very open to listening. I think that there's just a certain temperature right now in politics, and, people are looking for, I don't know if it's a change or something different or just simply just some unity. And so they've been very, very open to me. And actually, while we were up at the fair in Crawford County, I had a young woman, cattle farmer, come up to me, and, she let me know that she's registered on the other side of the ticket than me, but that she wanted to shake my hand and thank me for running, and that she really appreciates me and that I have her full support. And so, of course, my question was, why, right? I mean, wanted to know what her thoughts were, and she indicated that she's following me, I guess, on my socials and things like that, and said that I'm very involved in the community and that's important to her. And then, also, I am a fellow woman. Not that that's her deciding factor, of course,
Right.
but it's what I stand for. And I mean, we just feel like we've been kind of lacking representation when it comes to so many different areas, not just politics, and so she likes that there is another woman who can fight for those things that us women, maybe we've been kind of left behind on things. So,
and there has been some vacancies when it comes to some of the political races where there have not been two candidates when it comes to November for anybody to actually have a choice in. That kind of limits your view of what you're going to see the next 2 to 4 years, doesn't it?
It does. And that's another thing that I encourage people. If you think to yourself that, oh, I could never run for office, yes, you can. If you care about people and you care about your family and other people's families and you care about your community, you can absolutely run for office. Are there challenges? Absolutely. We talked about that political temperature, and so there are some challenges there. But it truly just, you just have to have this heart and this desire to want better for your community and the people who are around you. And we need options, right? We need those options on the ticket. So it would be great if we had 10 people running for office for each seat. That would be fantastic, because that just shows that people believe in the system and, want to try to make it better.
What is I hate to say, what is the one thing that most people are concerned about in this area, but what have been maybe the top 3 things that people have discussed with you that they're not comfortable with this current situation, or maybe something they would like to see that we don't have, that you can actually just kind of enlighten them on your position with?
Absolutely. I have one of the issues that is constant, and it's all over the district, the United States, is our housing. We definitely need more housing, affordable housing. Rent rates and interest rates are all really high right now. And, I don't have the magic answer to make that all work right now, but I hope that it is something that as legislators we can work together to find solutions for this by having conversations with, realtors associations and builders associations and, different organizations who have really valid input in this. And I think you and I have actually talked before, Stan, that I'm one person. I am not going to be the one making a law, or I'm not going to be the one, setting the rules or anything like that. We all have to kind of work together, and we have to bring in those experts, because you think of every, legislator that we have in Jefferson City for all of the districts and Senate seats, they're not experts on every single thing that you can think of under the sun and the needs. They rely on those experts, right? And that's what I plan on doing, is relying on those experts and bringing them in and asking them questions and getting their input.
But as you bring in those experts, Jen, you also have to sit there and you have to think, and then you have to do your own research to see the validity of what they're saying, because just because they're an expert in, maybe they're an expert in rental housing, they may not be an expert in renovation of housing or getting housing more affordable in certain areas. And so you still have to do some homework. It's not just listen to and
That's
say,
right.
oh, that guy's absolutely
You got it. Perfect.
That girl's absolutely perfectly right. Absolutely. I got it all down now. Because there are a lot of misnomers about experts. I mean, everybody can be an expert in something, and like you're saying, it's a very maybe narrow band that they're an expert in. But that is still very key to what maybe the overall picture is, correct?
That's right. Absolutely. And so some of the others, of course, are jobs and people struggling to be able to pay their rent and buy groceries with inflation being high and all of that good stuff right now. So we really need to work towards making sure that we have quality jobs in the area, that people are getting paid a livable wage so that they can afford these things. And sadly, it's a much bigger picture, though. There are a lot of things that will have to be fixed further than just at the state level within our own district in order to kind of make that happen. So, yet again, not something else where I can, wave a magic wand and have that solution, but it is definitely things that we need to be working towards in order to help people continue to live every day.
So your second option, obviously, is jobs and employment in rural areas. And, years ago, and I think a lot of people may remember who are listening, we had numbers of factories in small towns, all of them. They basically had shoe factories or garment factories. And a lot of small towns actually were basically the manufacturing of all clothing in the state. Or shoes or things of that nature. They're the ones that put them together. They sold them in the big cities, but they got them all made in the small towns because of the craftsmanship and the workmanship that was there.
That's right. Remember Brown Shoe Factory?
Absolutely.
My grandmother worked there and retired from there, took an early retirement for Brown Shoe. She cut heels for I don't know how many years. And so, those are vital to our small communities. And, in addition to trying to get those manufacturing back, we need to be able to help those small businesses too, because there are a lot of great small communities that have these small businesses that are kind of the lifeblood of the community and employing people. So I think it's important to make sure that they know that they're important and needed as well.
All right. So what about that third item? We've got jobs. We've got, obviously, you talked about housing. What's the third one that most people are talking to you about?
Healthcare. I know. That's a touchy subject for a lot of people.
Black eye on
my goodness. And again, that is a much bigger scale than just here in this district and here in the state of Missouri. But we have to figure out a way to do better and hold these pharmaceutical companies and things like that accountable, because the gouging, the price gouging that they're doing is not okay. And like me, I get migraines. They're horrible. I know people who get migraines way worse than I do. My doctor prescribes me a medication and says, here, I want you to try this for your migraines. Let's see if we can get these under control. And then my doctor sends that prescription off and it gets denied.
Yeah.
Because the insurance company says, well, no, we don't think she needs that. And that is mind-boggling to me that my doctor says is prescribing this, but then we have the
insurance.
Exactly. We have the insurance company on the side saying, no, that your doctor doesn't know what they're talking about.
And what medical background do they have in making that decision?
That's right. And so,
yes,
it is all money. And so I wish that we could kind of cut that out of there and just get people the treatment and the care that they need without bankrupting them.
Yeah, and also to keep like rural hospitals and healthcare facilities open, because
we need those.
That is critical.
That's exactly right. Here in Dent County, there's not a single pediatrician in all of the entire county. That's
not
concerning.
A true pediatrician.
Right, not a true pediatrician. Exactly. Right. Yeah, there's other healthcare providers and such, but an actual pediatrician who specializes in those kids, and that's concerning. And I'm afraid that other specialties are going to leave our small communities if we don't have the support that we need. So concerning.
There's a lot of different things that obviously that you're encountering as you're going through Dane County and Crawford County, and we really do appreciate you spending a little bit of time here, and especially in the meet and greet. If somebody hasn't had the chance to meet you yet, obviously, let's repeat, you're going to be at the Salem Public Library tonight. What time is that getting underway?
5:30 to 6:30.
5:30 to 6:30, and Denny Roth is actually putting it on.
Correct.
And he's running for the 8th District in Congress again, and on a Democratic ticket. So,
correct.
And we had Denny, as I mentioned, in case you missed it, Monday morning he was here, and he'll be here again Monday again. Very entertaining man, very very knowledgeable man.
Yeah.
Kind of been through a lot of different ringers in his life, and when you get
we have.
Well, and the same thing for you. Really quickly, I would just like to touch a little bit. you are experienced in community stuff because you've been on boards, you've been on different things, but also you're from this area. You know what these people, you've experienced it yourself,
Absolutely.
what the needs are. Do you think that is key and vital to when you're talking to these people? You can talk to them one-on-one?
Yes, I think that we should have more representation, more representatives within the legislature that looks like us, that looks like the community that they're actually serving. So, whenever I get a bill for a breast MRI, that's $1,000. That's insane. And I think to myself, how can people afford this? They can't, so they just don't seek that medical care. But we do need, all of us to be represented, and I think that's important. So I actually paid for an ad in the paper this week. People probably saw that when it came out, but just pointing out that I am a dedicated community advocate. Whenever people come to these meet and greets, they may have 5 or 10 minutes to hear me speak, and that's challenging to learn everything there is about Jen Tracy within that short period of time. But I do care. I'm on the board for Mid-Ozark CASA, which is court-appointed special advocates, and we have 12,000 kids in the foster care system, and I run blood drives for the Red Cross. I've done that for 11 years, where we've collected over 1,400 units of blood, and then it goes on, and all these different committees and memberships that I have, and these are all active memberships. So I am absolutely involved in the community, and I have been for the past 15 years. Not something that I just decided to pick up, but I think community is important.
Well, obviously, if you didn't, you wouldn't be running, and we really appreciate it. Our time is up. We're doing a reminder, everybody, this was a paid political ad by Jen, and we do appreciate her coming in and spending this time with us. We'll be doing it again here in a couple of weeks, I believe. And we always appreciate these candidates coming in and trying to inform you a little bit about what they stand for, but look for them out on the street. They're not afraid to talk to you. They'll give you plenty of time, and if you have a particular question you'd like to ask them, obviously, your website, you have a way that somebody can email you a question or just check out your website.
Correct.
And might even get the answer to their question.
Correct, by accessing the website at
Go ahead,
JenTracyForMissouri.com.
Okay, and do you have an email?
I do. It's just info@JenTracyForMissouri.com.
Makes it easy.
Keep it simple.
Very simple. Again, Jen, thank you very much for coming in.
Thanks,
This has
Dan.
been a paid political ad for Jen Tracy, candidate for the 120th State Representative. Good luck to you, and enjoy your meet and greet tonight.
Thank you, sir.
Keep it right here. We got a lot of music.